heard the fantastic news that the Severn Valley Railway Charitable Trust has raised £475,000 to fund much needed improvements here at the Loco Shed in Bridgnorth, thank you to everyone who donated to the Home and Dry appeal. Well, before the contractors can move in and do the main job, there's a mammoth task ahead. There's something like 500 tonnes of stuff to move out of here. It's a job for the SVR's volunteers.
There's a lot of volunteers here at the moment today. There's easily sort of 12, 13 volunteers here today. A lot of them working on roof and crane projects, as well as maintenance works for the paid staff for locos as well, because that's also essential work that needs to be done. So a big volunteer input today. There's probably something like 7 or 8 roof and crane jobs to be done this weekend, all of which need to be completed on time to allow other things to be done later on in the programme.
I've got these frames here, the metal frames, which we're bending into shape so as they're going to be sitting at 130mm high when placed on the ground, and then they're going to be put over on road 4 to raise the level up to the chairs where the rail sits in, and that's going to be then concreted over. So these will act as frames in order to give that a safer structure.
So all this before the main contractors come in and do the main job?
This is all preparation work, yeah, so we just do what we can to speed the process along, really.
Well, 2 containers, that's a lot of spare parts. I mean, could you build a separate loco out of what you've got in there?
Quite possibly. See here, there's a whole range of different parts. There's cooler group spares here for floats for the water level system. There's brake cylinders there. There's a drawbar hook.
Stop talking and come and do some work.
Yeah, he's asking me to do some work, but you know, there's a whole cross section of spares for the locos, which were obtained from BR days back in the 1970s.
We're working on a base, concrete base, to store the cast iron brake blocks on shelving. It's part of the job pre-concreting before the contractors come in. We've got other jobs inside the shed to do as well before contractors come. But this morning we've got to level this off with the beating this down with the whacker plate, and then so I've got a level surface to work on to put the concrete plate in.
We could not do this job without volunteer input, because the amount of work to do this was done by paid staff. It would take paid staff off doing maintenance work and other jobs that are essential for the railway. So without that, we'd have to pay somebody to come in, either the main contractor or somebody else, and that would have increased the cost substantially on this project. So the volunteer input is absolutely essential on this job.
Now this year the railway is closed until early April.
Yep.
How much is that helping you guys here?
It's a big help, because if we were preparing for steam for February, then a lot of the time that the volunteers would be spending would be doing paid staff work to prepare the locos for steaming. That means we can use those volunteers for roof and crane work. So not running helps us in that sense, and also that week of steam means that we can't get in the shed to do other work. So it's essential really this year that we didn't have that running, because it makes such a big difference to getting the shed prepped.
And of course, alongside all of this, there are locos that have to be got ready for the steam gala in April. Is that going to be okay? Is that going to go ahead?
No, everything will be running for the steam gala. This has been programmed around the steam gala. So we've got the steam gala in April, we've got another one in September. So all these works are programmed around the steam galas. So all the prep work that they'll be doing inside the shed, once the steam gala is out the way, there'll be a big push then to get everything out of the shed. So once those are completed, that's when the big push will happen to clear the shed out of the way. But as I say, probably 60% of the work can be done in advance of that, and that's what we're aiming for at the moment.
Now you're the project manager of this job, which I can see quite clearly is an enormous task. Why do you volunteer for such a role?
I'm asking that question myself actually sometimes. It's a huge involvement with the project, and it's not just myself. There's a big team of people behind this. Nick Yarwood, Ben Wright and Martin from the paid staff point of view. we're all sort of chipping in with this and working together as a team to get this done. But yeah, it is a huge project, you know, it is trying to be volunteer led. We're trying to do as much volunteer work as we possibly can to save the railway money. You know, just in terms of fees and costs, it would easily be £40,000 to £50,000 worth of extra money that would have been spent on this, which can be put into other aspects of the railway. So yeah, it's hard work, but it's enjoyable. And I think once everybody sees the crane in and the roof all redone, it's going to be a really nice feeling once it's all completed.
Well, all the money has been raised, the contractors have been engaged.
They have.
How does it feel to you now, looking at this project? It's coming at you thick and fast. How are you feeling?
It's coming up very thick and fast, yeah. It will be, and once we get to April, there's going to be a sense of, yeah, look, we've got to get this sorted. We've got to be ready for the contractor. All the contracts are now placed, as you say. Everything is ready to go, so we've got to be ready for them. There's no option here. We can't not have it completed, so we must be ready. We've got to be sorted. So yeah, it's just all hands to the pump and make sure we get it sorted.
Thanks for watching, and if you want further updates on what's happening with Roof and Crane Project here at Bridgnorth, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget, we reopen on April the 2nd.